Does the mind create reality? An inquiry into the limits of consciousness, knowledge, and being. The question of the relationship between the mind and reality is not merely an epistemological problem, it is fundamentally ontological, touching the very nature of existence. When we ask, does the mind create reality, we are not only questioning how we know the world, but whether the world has meaning or even existence outside the horizon of consciousness. 1. The illusion of immediacy, why we never perceive reality as it is. In everyday experience, humans believe they interact directly with the world. We see the tree, hear the sound, touch the stone. Yet this sense of immediacy conceals a crucial truth. All experience is mediated by the mind. The brain does not receive reality itself. It receives raw physical signals, which it then transforms into a world rich with colors and meanings. What we call reality is, in fact, a neurocognitive construction. Thus, the naive assumption that consciousness is a transparent window onto the world collapses. 2. Kant. The mind is not a mirror, but a condition of possibility. With Immanuel Kant, the problem reaches its philosophical peak. Kant does not claim that the mind creates things, but something more radical. The mind creates the conditions under which things can appear. Time and space, causality and unity are not properties of things in themselves, but a priori forms through which the mind structures experience. We never know the thing in itself. We only know the phenomenon as it appears within our cognitive framework. In this sense, the reality we live in is constituted, not simply discovered. 3. Radical idealism. When the mind becomes the source of being. In idealist philosophy, particularly in George Berkeley, the independent external world nearly disappears. To be is to be perceived. Existence consists solely of ideas within a mind. No perception, no being. This position powerfully elevates the role of consciousness, yet it faces a profound difficulty. How can we explain the stability of the world, its continuity, and the agreement between different minds? 4. Scientific realism, resisting the centrality of consciousness. On the opposing side stands scientific realism, which asserts that the world exists independently of any observer. Electrons, stars, and physical laws operate regardless of human awareness. Yet even this position does not fully resolve the issue. Science itself relies on mental models, mathematical language, and conceptual frameworks. We do not access reality as it is, but as it is represented. 5. Consciousness between creation and discovery. A neuroscientific perspective. Cognitive neuroscience reveals that the brain does not passively wait for reality, it predicts it. According to the predictive brain theory, perception results from expectations that are constantly revised in light of sensory input. Hallucinations, optical illusions, and even the sense of self demonstrate that lived reality is not a faithful copy of the external world, but an active interpretation of it. 6. Quantum physics and the problem of the observer. In quantum mechanics, the observer becomes part of the phenomenon. Measurement does not merely reveal a pre-existing state, it contributes to determining it. Although this does not imply that human consciousness creates the universe, it seriously challenges the notion of a reality entirely independent of observation. Here, science and philosophy once again converge. 7. A synthetic position. Reality exists, meaning is created. Perhaps the error lies not in the answers, but in the question itself. In the rigid dichotomy it assumes, either a mind that creates reality or a reality fully independent of mind. A more coherent view holds that reality exists independently of our consciousness, but its meaning, boundaries, and experiential form are constructed by the mind. The mind does not create the stone, but it creates what the stone means, whether it is an obstacle, a tool, or a symbol. Conclusion. The human being between two worlds. Human beings do not live solely in the world as it is, nor solely within the mind, but in an intermediate domain, where existence meets meaning. The mind does not create reality from nothing, but it creates the world we inhabit psychologically and intellectually. Thus, changing the mind is not an escape from reality, but a transformation of how we exist within it.